Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel. As you all know, we are here to discuss cashew nuts. Today, the topic of discussion is cashew processing in Africa. We would like to understand why is cashew processing not picking up in Africa. But before we do so, I want us to watch a very short video of the head of the African Development Bank. He gave a recent interview in which he explained the issue of processing in general in Africa, not only about cashew, but the processing of commodities in general. So we're going to listen to him for 2 minutes, and then we'll come back to our talk of this morning.
Well, I think first and foremost is to recognize that agriculture is not a way of life. Agriculture is a business, it's a wealth-creating sector. You take a look at Africa today in total, Africa spends, $35 billion a year importing food that it should be producing. And if we do nothing about that, by 2025, Africa will be spending another $110 billion importing food. So the things that have to change is how we take agriculture. We must take agriculture as a business that can create wealth and revive our rural communities. The second thing that has to change is that for all the things that Africa produces, I see Sir Jeff over there producing maize, but also whether it is rice, whether it's cassava, whether it's coffee, whether it's cocoa, whether it's tea, whatever it is, or cotton, Africa has to absolutely add value to everything. It makes no sense today that Africa accounts for 75% of the global production of cocoa, but Africa gets only 2%. 2% of a $100 billion market for chocolates. So the price of cocoa will fall, like it has just fallen. Again, Cote d'Ivoire is losing $1 billion as a result of that. But the price of chocolates never goes down. The price of cotton will fall, but the price of textiles and apparels will never go down. And so the price also of coffee beans will fall, but never the price of brewed coffee that people are making money all the way to the bank. And so we've got to make sure that we make agriculture value chains that allows Africa to add value to everything it produces. And that's why within the African Development Bank, we've taken this very seriously, that we're going to invest $24 billion of our own money into agriculture over the next 10 years so that Africa can be totally food self-sufficient. And secondly, Africa can participate in global value chains. For the things that it produces, it should add value. It should be making a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Agriculture is not a way of life. Agriculture is a wealth sector, and it must be treated exactly like that.
So thank you to the head of the African Development Bank. It was a very interesting interview in which he brilliantly explained the issue with processing in Africa. Why is it not picking up? There are some initiatives taken in certain countries like Ghana, Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso, Mozambique, Tanzania, but still it's not picking up. So we want to understand why that is the case. We're going to do that in 3 different stages. First, we're going to talk about the production, and then we'll also look at the status of cashew processing in Africa, and lastly, the challenges of processing in Africa. So that will, if we structure our discussion around those 3 topics, it will help us to have a better discussion. Okay, so today I'm going to tell you about the production in Africa. And then in our next video, we'll discuss the current status of cashew processing in Africa. Okay, so looking at the production of cashew in Africa, this is about 56% of the world production, 56%, more than half. And that's the 2018 statistics. I'm sure the number is greater in 2020. Okay. And the first producer in Africa and in the world is Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast. Okay, it's a West African country. And it's quite interesting. But the 95%, I will say, between 90 and 95% of that huge production in Ivory Coast is exported raw. The other country we want to look at is Burkina Faso. Why Burkina Faso? Who produces only 90,000 tons We want to look at Burkina Faso because a lot has been done in that particular country to process their production locally. So we're going to look at Burkina Faso. We're going to look at the current status of processing in Africa. Okay, I'm going to go into detail of what is being done in West Africa, in East and Southern Africa, and then from that, after that assessment, we will look at what kind of solution we can propose to various government to improve the situation in Africa. So thank you again for your time. We hope to speak to you next time. And thank you for being part of this community. If you have any comments, please feel free to post your comment below. We'll be very happy to hear from you. What do you think? What do you think processing is not picking up in Africa? What is the reason behind? You know, as I said, we won't be able to touch each and every single point. We just want to stir up the debate, and we want you to contribute. You want you to tell us what you think, and hopefully, at the end of our exchanges, we can have some interesting ideas and solution that hopefully will fall in the ear of those decision makers, and if they could implement whatever we can come up with, it can help Africa solve this issue of processing, so that the continent can benefit from his hard work, from the hard work of their farmers, men and women. Have any question, please feel free to ask. Leave your comment below. If you have any contribution, please feel free to do so. We want to hear from you because we want to build a community where we promote cashew, we raise awareness about those issues, and see how we can help Africa become a processor, because the continent will benefit when it starts to process. When Africa starts to process, the continent will benefit, because it's not fair a continent like Africa to be producing so many commodities, but at the same time, the continent is still going through some hard time because the continent does not benefit, the continent does not process. So why is Africa not processing its commodities? At least with cashew, we'll try to understand as to why processing is not picking up in Africa. We hope that we gave some ideas. We want to stir up a more in-depth debate among different circles, especially among those who make decisions, to come up with some solution. Vietnam was able to do it within 25 years because India was the leader, the only leader in the world in terms of processing. The Vietnamese approached India to learn about it, and within 25 years, Vietnam overtook India today as one of the major processors in the world. If Vietnam has done it, African can do it too, I believe. Thank you again for your time, and we shall speak to you next time.